Have you ever needed your NAB routing number, like right now, but you had absolutely no idea where to look? Well, imagine solving that exact problem in just a couple of minutes. Hey everyone, let's dive straight into this explainer and completely demystify how you can track down your NAB routing information quickly and, most importantly, securely. If you've ever tried to set up a new direct debit, or maybe you're trying to get paid by an overseas client, you've almost certainly been asked for a routing number. Think of it as an essential set of GPS coordinates for your banking transactions. It literally ensures your money ends up in the exact right place. Have you ever needed this number for a transfer, searched absolutely everywhere on your app or your bank statement, and realized you didn't even know what to look for? Honestly, it can be incredibly frustrating, especially if you're a complete beginner to the Australian banking system. So here's the crucial point. A lot of the confusion just comes down to terminology. You see, Australia doesn't use those standard North American 9-digit routing transit numbers, or RTNs. And unlike banks over in Europe, Australian institutions don't actually participate in the IBAN registry. Instead, the Australian standard is what we call a bipartite system. It's a 6-digit BSB paired up with a typical 9-digit account number. It's a real game changer to understand this, because this difference is exactly what causes that immediate confusion when international senders or digital platforms ask you for one single routing number. Today, we're going to walk through a simple step-by-step framework to locate your coordinates. We are covering the Australian routing dilemma, unlocking access with NAB IDs, finding domestic routing online, finding international SWIFT codes, and finally, navigating business routing data. Section 1. The Australian routing dilemma. To really grasp the fundamental problem here, we have to look at what an Australian routing number actually is. As we mentioned, instead of one single transit number, domestic transfers here require that two-part system. The first part is your BSB, which stands for Bank State Branch. This is a localized 6-digit number that pinpoints the exact bank and branch where your account lives. You then pair that up with your specific account number, which is usually 9 digits long. Together, these two pieces of information act as your domestic routing number, making sure your funds navigate accurately across the whole Australian interbank clearing landscape. Now, here's a pretty surprising fact for you. There is a special exception. If you happen to have a NAB foreign currency account, you don't actually need a BSB for it to operate, just the account number. But here's the catch. Because so many automated clearinghouses and international transfer systems will literally force you to type in a BSB to hit next, NAB came up with a really clever workaround. You can just plug in the placeholder BSB 082039 to satisfy the system's requirements. Pretty cool, right? Section 2. Unlocking access. NAB IDs. Okay, so before we can go hunting for your specific routing coordinates online, we need the digital key to securely access them. So what exactly is this key? Well, it's your NAB ID. Sometimes it's called an NIN, or NAB identification number. It's a completely unique 8 to 10-digit identifier that you get the moment you become a customer. Structurally speaking, it is totally different from your bank account number or your BSB, and it is absolutely not your credit card number. It basically serves as the foundational token to safely and securely unlock your internet banking. So where do you find this key? Well, for personal accounts, you've got 3 incredibly easy ways to grab your NIB ID right now. First off, check your onboarding welcome email or SMS from way back when you first joined. Second, just flip over your physical credit or debit card. It's very often printed right there on the back. Or third, if you're already registered on your phone, just open up the NIB mobile app, tap on More, jump into Profile, and then select My Details. Your NIB ID will be sitting right there. Quick troubleshooting tip. If you're looking at a secondary credit card and don't see the ID printed on it, checking the app is definitely your safest fallback method. Now, you should keep in mind that there is a bit of a complex matrix when it comes to NAB IDs. You might actually have more than one, depending on how your accounts are set up. This table does a great job of showing exactly what permissions each type of ID has when it comes to your financial documents. For instance, a personal primary ID gives you full access to interest statements and letters, but a personal additional ID, which might be used for someone who has power of attorney, might only grant access to tax invoices. So figuring out which ID you are currently using is absolutely crucial for our next steps. Section 3. Finding domestic routing online. All right, now that we're securely logged in using our NAB ID, let's go track down those exact domestic routing coordinates. If you are on your smartphone, the NAB app gives you a really seamless 4-step journey. First, just authenticate your session. Use your passcode or Face ID. Second, tap on your target account from the main dashboard.
Third, you're going to immediately see that 6-digit BSB and 9-digit account number sitting right there below the account name. And finally, if you need to actually send this info to someone, just tap details and then hit share account details for a secure text or email export. Oh, and a quick troubleshooting and security tip for you. Always verify the authenticity of any third-party link before sharing your bank info. You've got to protect yourself from scams, keep that data safe.
Now, if you're sitting at a desktop or laptop, grabbing your coordinates through a web browser is a super fast 3-step process. Simply log into the NAB Internet Banking portal using that NAB ID and your password. Once you're in, take a look at the main dashboard. You'll find your active BSB and account number coordinates sitting visibly right underneath the name of your account. Honestly, it really is that straightforward. Section 4. Finding international SWIFT codes. But hey, what if you're expecting funds from overseas? Well, your domestic BSB just isn't going to cut it for a sender sitting in London or New York. For those international inward remittances, you have to use a SWIFT code, which is sometimes called a bank identifier code, or BIC. This is an international standard made up of 8 to 11 characters. Think of it like a massive global zip code. It identifies the bank's name, the country, and the specific branch address. Basically, this code securely guides the international payment all the way into the Australian network. Once it's here, your domestic BSB and account number take the baton to complete the final leg of the journey. When it comes to actually receiving that money, you'll see there are several routing paths, but NATAU 3303M, which specifically represents Victoria and Tasmania, is the universally preferred NAB SWIFT code. Going with this preferred code is highly recommended by the bank itself, mostly because it helps cut down on annoying processing delays and just ensures a much smoother cross-border transaction. That being said, if you have a specific business transaction that requires real localized precision, take a look at this matrix. It breaks down the exact SWIFT codes assigned to every single Australian state and territory. So for example, if your branch is based in New South Wales or the ACT, you would probably opt for NATAU 3302S. But like we said, if you are ever in doubt, just fall back on that preferred Victoria and Tasmania code we just talked about. It's definitely your safest bet for general inward transfers. Section 5. Navigating business routing data. Finally, we really need to address the specific needs of our business and corporate viewers because, well, the rules do change quite a bit at the enterprise level. You have to keep this critical distinction in mind. Unlike personal profiles, where you can easily just grab your digital key off your phone, your business NAB ID absolutely cannot be found in the mobile app. It's highly restricted for security reasons. You have to get it directly from your designated business banker or have it issued over the counter at a local branch. So if you've been pulling your hair out with navigation problems trying to find it digitally, that is exactly why. Once you've securely gotten your hands on that business ID, retrieving highly specialized routing data, like, say, equipment finance coordinates, is a pretty straightforward 4-step process inside the Enterprise NAB Connect portal. Step 1, establish an authenticated corporate session. Step 2, navigate over to the Accounts menu and click on Account Details. Step 3, just select your specific business account right from the drop-down menu. And Step 4, you can actually use the built-in export utility to generate a secure PDF or CSV file. This is super handy for your own records or if you need to feed it into your accounting software. Just as a brief professional reminder, banking architectures and online portals are always evolving. So, to protect your bank information, always verify your routing metadata securely through official channels. Double-check the authenticity of the website, make absolutely sure you are on the actual nab.com.au domain before you type in any details. Now, this information is fully accurate at the time of recording, but your bank's official customer service will always remain your ultimate source of truth. Equipped with this step-by-step knowledge, you can confidently navigate the whole Australian interbank clearing landscape starting right now. To quickly recap our key takeaways for today, remember that Australia uses a BSB and account number combo instead of a standard RTN or IBAN for domestic routing. You absolutely need your unique NAB ID to log in securely and find those coordinates online. And for any international transfers, always rely on your SWIFT code. Honestly, just knowing your routing numbers is what ensures your banking transactions are both efficient and secure. So now that you have the digital keys to unlock your routing coordinates safely, what is your next financial move? Go ahead and take action on what you've learned today, and I'll see you in the next explainer.